Hello and welcome to the Social AgTech Podcast, the place to be for those interested in shaping a more food-secure future for our planet. Whether you're looking to learn more about hunger, find out about how you can make a difference, or support and learn from the innovators already making strides in this field, we cover topics for you. Having explored in the last episodes just how severe a problem hunger is, the challenges that we need to overcome to have a hope of eradicating it, and some of the great innovative ways new startups and projects are tackling the issue, we continue our series hearing from those playing an active role in reducing hunger in their communities, from startups and community clubs to charities and those supporting their development through funding and mentorship.
Today, we have an inspiring guest who embodies the spirit of empowerment and innovation in the fight against hunger. So joining us is Emmanuel Lavalie. He's a visionary entrepreneur and leader hailing from Sierra Leone. Emmanuel is the founder and CEO of Agricultural Multimedia and Entertainment for Growth, or AMEG for short, as well as the Impere Foundation for Education and Agriculture. Both organizations being at the forefront of empowering Sierra Leonean youth with critical skills in technology, agriculture, education, food production, and so much more. With a rich background that includes roles like project manager at the British Council and regional communication and marketing lead for West Africa at Thought for Food, Emmanuel has dedicated his career to fostering youth empowerment and sustainable development. His experience spans from business development to project management, and his expertise in multimedia allows him to tell powerful, evidence-based stories that drive fundraising and advocacy efforts. Today, we're going to dive deep into Emmanuel's journey, his passion for creating opportunities for young people, and how he's leveraging his diverse skills set to make a lasting impact in Sierra Leone and beyond. Emmanuel, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show with us. Welcome. Can you maybe just start us off by sharing a bit more about your journey into the world of both education and agriculture, and ultimately what inspired you to focus on helping to reduce hunger?
Thank you so much, Arian, and thank you so much, Dion, for the beautiful introduction that you guys just made about me. Seriously, I felt the goosebumps in my tummy. That's a good sign, of course. You're doing something good. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys for the amazing work that you're doing for social AgTech entrepreneurs all over the world. And I also thank you for sharing this beautiful platform of yours with me. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to your audience and also to the rest of the world. My name is Emmanuel Lavalie. I am a husband. I am also a father. I have two very beautiful princesses. And then, of course, I am the founder and executive director of Impere Foundation for Education and Agriculture. I'm also the founder and CEO for Agricultural Multimedia and Entertainment for Growth. Both of these companies work hard to make sure that we upskill young people, build their human capacity, and then, of course, help them to become job creators, own their own businesses, and then, of course, thrive. Okay, we believe that there is potential in everybody out there. And then, of course, all we have to do is, enhance that potential and give them the level playground so they can go out there and, experience the best of themselves and just enjoy life and do good things and be good. So my journey into education and agriculture started way back when I was a child. So first of all, I can say maybe I am a farmer by birth. I grew up in a family of farming. My father is a carpenter and my mother, of course, used to be a food seller. So she runs a cookery shop. So of course, every morning we wake up, go to the kitchen, prepare food, and then, of course, take the food to customers to buy. So, of course, the food industry, I think I was born into it, okay, because I met my mom selling food, okay, as a means of survival for our daily need. And, of course, my father's carpentry workshop wasn't enough to take care of all of our financial needs. So, of course, farming was almost like our subsistence means of living. We have to farm to be able to take care of our education. We have to farm to be able to, produce the food that we need to survive during the rainy season. Both of these industries, the education and the agriculture industry, is something that I can say it's a calling for me. I resonate with this space easily.
That is beautiful and inspiring. Thank you for sharing, Emmanuel. So, what was the genesis story to the Impere Foundation? I think you discovered this gift, this calling, if you will. How did you find yourself moving back home and starting the work that you have?
In late 2020, I had 3 dreams. And in each of these dreams, someone tapped me on my shoulder and said, go back home. Okay? And in each of these taps, I felt this very special feeling. It was so serene and cold and sweet, I felt at peace with every core of my being every time this happens. And the person will always say, go back home 3 times. And then I realized that, okay, this is serious. I have received this message 3 times. And as I say, go back home. I know this is serious and it is for something important. But one thing that I didn't want to do was to come back home and I cannot add value to the lives of, the people that I'm going to meet, my people who have left for a very long time. Okay, I want my life to be a difference, not in the prideful way, okay, but in a way that it can add value to the lives of other people. So, of course, that night I slept and then, a name, came into my mind, Impere Foundation for Education and Agriculture, and then the acronym IFIA. Okay, and it was so vivid, okay, that I could really see the writings on the wall, and right there it came to me that, okay, this is something that you have to push. You have it. That is it. That is what you need, to take back to your people. And so I straight away went to register, okay, the organization, and that because I have to do it the right way. So first of all, it has to be legal. Okay, so I did the registration and started working in my small community. And so, in fact, I started with the agricultural project because, I know that I came from a community that is dominated with mining activities. And, in places like this, people want fast money, quick money. They want to do things that will give them money now. Okay? They don't want to invest in the future. So, people think that, farming is a long process and it's kind of a high risk because you have to put your money, okay, into paying people to brush for you. Okay, you clear the farm, buy the seeds, you plant the seeds, and even after putting them in the soil, you have to hope that they will grow. And then, of course, at the end of the day, you also have to hope that when they grow, they will definitely give you the yields that you need so you can get your return. So all of this is a high risk for them that they do not want to take. So I wanted to start myself and show them that it can be done, not with so much money, of course, but then, of course, you need to have some funds because agriculture is not cheap. This everybody has to know. The type of farmers that we have, especially in Sierra Leone, okay, in a large number, smallholder farmers who want to really do this, but they can only do it to feed, okay, maybe solve their basic needs, and they'll be able to do it on a large scale to be able to solve the problem of hunger and high prices, okay, in food and food commodities in the country. And guess what? Even though we have one of the best lands and also a lot of water, okay, we have an arable land and then enough water, but then of course we import 80% of the food that we eat from other countries, okay? So that is really scary, and it shows you there is a huge need for improvement so that these farmers' lives can improve, okay, so that they can be able to do bigger and better farming, okay, and then they'll be able to get the yield that they need and employ more people and create jobs for more people, and at the end of the day, the whole community will benefit, okay? And so my connection with thoughtful food, Okay, so in my food journey, of course, and in my agricultural journey as well, I was made an ambassador for Thoughtful Food for Sierra Leone. And then, of course, based on my performance with them, okay, I was elevated to the communications and marketing lead for West Africa. And of course, in my role, I was responsible and I created most of the West African Facebook pages. And then, of course, allocated ambassadors to manage those pages. And then, of course, share the work that Thoughtful Food is doing, okay, which, of course, was to give a platform to people in the food space, in the agriculture space, in the AgTech space, to get visibility, the visibility that they deserve, and also be able to access funds so they can, scale their innovations and their productions.
Oh, Emmanuel, that is beautiful and resonates with me on many levels, and I'm sure with a lot of our listeners as well. Could you tell us perhaps about some of the achievements you're most proud of with the Impere Foundation?
Okay, so I think I'll speak about two of them, and the first one is the Impere Maize Production Project. So I call it the IMPP as an abbreviation. So this is a project that was submitted to the Global Youth Climate Network in the late 2020, early 2021. Yes. And then we submitted that project. Okay. So the project was to give smallholder farmers climate smart agriculture training, CMAs. And then, of course, at the end of the training, give them support in seeds. Okay. So that they'll be able to have the much needed seeds to plant, okay, and have the yield that they deserve in their farms, okay. And because also the goal of the training was to be able to, build interest in other people for agriculture again, and also remind people who are working in agriculture that it is still a viable industry and it is way more viable now because of how food prices are going up every day. Okay. Gari, a bag of Gari used to be, I think, 400. Now I think it's 1,200. Okay, or 1,100. So why can't you go and do a cassava farm if you are used to doing it before and you think it was not making you much money? Now it will, and it does. So there's an interest that I've been trying to build in people, okay, to see that there is another pathway here to building wealth. And it's not just through the mining industry, okay? And so far, so good. We've been able to do it in our own capacity, and we have been able to do it well. We have been able to support 149 farmers with maize and vegetable seeds, okay? And then, of course, that number, I think 30% of them are women, okay? Women who do a lot of backyard gardening so that they can have their daily needs every day, so that they can fend for themselves and their children every day, okay? And we did this for free, okay? So that, because I'm someone that believes that I should put my money where my mouth is, okay? I just want to be talking about things and telling people to do things, and I cannot do it myself. That is not the kind of person that I am at all, and that is not the kind of person that I want my people, to see me as, okay, in a way, in a good way. Because, as I said, I want to lead by example, and so if I believe that there is something that, they can do and make money from, I have to give them the tools that they need to be able to do it, okay? So that when they eventually reach that stage when they can do it by themselves, okay, they'll be able to do it repeatedly, okay, and do become sustainable over time. So by that beginning, we always need a little bit of a push, okay? Someone has to push you from the back so that you can jump that next pothole, okay? Because For some people, sometimes without that push, they will never jump. So sometimes you need to push people. So my next beautiful and amazing project that I am presently working on, that I'm super, super proud of, okay, with my beautiful team that is working on it. So it's the Moriba Town Technical College that we are working on, that we want to establish. So I am working with the British African Business Alliance, ABBA. So Moriba Town has been one of the places that they've chosen in Africa and in Salon to establish their affordable housing and education project in Africa, which is a really, really beautiful project that is meant to empower communities, okay, and create, alternative pathways, okay, for income generation for these communities, okay. As I said initially, there has always been this thought in me, okay, that, okay, if someday, the mining companies eventually close, what will be, the next go-to income generation means for our community, so that we can keep people in our community, so that people will not, migrate to other communities where they think that maybe they can have more access to generating income, because how the business waves work is, where the money goes is where the business people will follow. And we have to be thinking about this now, okay, and start looking for other ways that we can, create investment opportunities, okay, in the community, and, give preference to other industries to thrive and rise, okay, and also, provide competition for jobs, okay, with these mining companies. So I was contacted by Baba with a proposal to work with me and my organization, the Impere Foundation for Education and Agriculture, so that we'll be able to scale the numbers of the people that we are providing training for, okay, because we've been providing business development, of course, financial literacy, and then, of course, fashion design and production. We've been also providing training in CMAs, climate smart agriculture, and of course, we also been providing master classes in, filmmaking. So a lot of knowledge, okay, and information that we've been sharing with these young people so that they can get better in things that they are doing, and also helping them to be change makers within the community as well. Okay, and we've been doing this for 3 years now, and it is not going to stop. So, of course, when Baba reached out, okay, they said, okay, we've seen the beautiful work that you are doing in your community, and we think that it is important for you to think about scaling these operations so that instead of training 10, 15 people, okay, you'll be able to train 500 or 1,000 at a go.
That's amazing. Thank you, Emmanuel. And beautiful how personal you make this journey. And I think that elucidates some of the ways in which perhaps a perception shift is one of the ways that you're trying to meaningfully affect change, and perhaps highlighting one of the problems that we face. So maybe in your words, what do you think are the greatest challenges to food security globally right now, particularly in West Africa?
Okay, guys. So thank you for this amazing question. Of course, listen, human beings, the humans, we pose the greatest challenge to our food security. And this is the reason. Okay, we are the very ones that weaponize food. And so we can limit other countries, okay, access to food when we want, when we feel like, when we want to show them that we are more powerful or our status is higher than them, then we can, put sanctions and all of these barriers to access the food. And then, of course, we are the very people, us human beings, that wage wars, that involve in conflict. And by doing this, we destroy farms, we create instabilities, okay, and we put people in worries. They have to run out scatter, okay, for their lives. How will you expect them to go and farm and be able to, provide food so that everybody will be able to have enough to eat and to spare? We are the very problem that we have, okay? We create all these problems for ourselves because we do not have the ability to love one another. We do not have the ability to love ourselves and be able to transmit that love to others. We hate so easily. We see ourselves as enemies. We see ourselves as, the next big competition. And this person should not get ahead of me. This nation should not get ahead of me. Listen, I'm saying this because I've seen the effects of war in my country, in Sierra Leone. We had 11 years of senseless rebel war, which took us back 50 to 60 years behind other African countries who we are doing way better than in terms of our economy, our education. Okay, but these countries are way ahead of us right now because we took ourselves back because of the senseless war that we have to engage in. This is it. It's us. It's not someone else. It's not an alien. No, it is not the devil, Satan. No, it is us. We do this to ourselves. So, if we are looking for a technology that we think can help us to achieve food security, especially in this part of the world, in Africa, in Sierra Leone, and the rest of the world, I think we have to be so innovative. And this is a calling for people in the tech space, guys. With all of the geniuses that we have, the wonderful and beautiful creators and programmers that we have out there, please, guys, work on a technology that can put people's frequency to fall in love at will. Can we do this? Please, guys, can we? All of these beautiful creators that we have around the world that are putting together these awesome, technologies. Look at AI. Look at how much it is doing right now. Can we think about building a technology that can help humanity achieve the state and the frequency of love just by pressing a button? So start with that. If we can fall in love with ourselves, then we'll be able to love others. But if we find it difficult to love ourselves, well, we're going to love no one. We'll not be able to love anyone. And this is the major problem. And then, of course, other challenges, that we face for us to be able to achieve food security is, of course, access to funds, equity in the distribution of funds that are available to do so. We all see that the Western world, first world countries have so much resources that we can only dream about. Most of those resources, they got through, the blood and sweat of our forefathers, who they have to take to Europe, through the slavery period. And our people work hand in glove. They suffered, they shed blood, they shed tears to make sure that these first world countries can get to the stage that they are today. This is why I think it has to be a mandatory process in a way, for maybe retribution for these first world nations to pay us back all of the suffering that our people went through. And they can do this by, giving us equality to access funds for development. Give us equity in access to technologies. You guys have technologies that you use that we can only dream of having. There are a lot of applications that are so useful for us that it is now open for Africa. You cannot use it. And that's the same for a lot of other technologies that you guys have. When you've used them for years, and then, of course, it is not useful anymore, or maybe you've produced something that is way better, then you say, okay, let's think about Africa. I think this can be nice for people like them. And we can't blame you guys. It's our fault because we have allowed ourselves to be brainwashed that we are not good enough to create anything, that we are not good enough to build for ourselves. So we always look forward to what the other people are creating. There we put premium on that. We have a lot of young Africans who are doing well, who have started this journey of creating, of building, producing things in Africa. We find it difficult to patronize with their products because it's not made in China, because it's not made in the USA, because it's not made in England, because it's not made in Japan, it's not made in Germany, not made in Russia, not made in South Korea. We think that they are less in quality and in durability. So these businesses struggle to be sustainable. And at the end of the day, they die a natural death. And this is where things have to change. We, the people of Sierra Leone and of Africa, have to start to, buy things made in Sierra Leone, made in, Africa. We have to prioritize this. Let us buy our own locally made products and help these companies to grow. And then the people who are behind these companies can be more innovative, especially in the food space. We have a lot of startups right now in the food space that are doing so well, but they lack access to funds to scale. They lack the access to the type of technologies that they need to be able to do this, faster and be able to do it on a large scale. This is why we need equity in the distribution of funds and equity in access to technology. We need this. And also, to your fourth and final question, listen, guys, we can solve these problems by starting with ourselves, with the human beings. Let's check ourselves, dig deep. Let's find love and goodness in each other. Let us help one another. Let us collaborate instead of compete against. Let's be our brother's keeper. If you have too much food in your house, make sure that you share some with some people that need to eat. If you have water in your house, give people to drink if they are thirsty. If you have a lot of clothes, give someone that doesn't have much to wear. When we are able to do these things to ourselves, then of course, that is how we start to change things, because we see ourselves as one entity from one source. There won't be all of these wars, all of these conflicts, all of this chaos, all of the hate, the anger, Too much greed in human beings. Too much greed. We are so greedy. We want everything for ourselves. And it's so bad that one person, can hold on destinies of 1,000 or 1 million people. And they don't see anything wrong with that. It's that with us. We have to change. We have to change our ways. We have to change our thoughts. We have to change the way we feel about each other. We have to change our words, the way we talk about each other. That's where it starts. If we can do this, tell you everything will fall in place. There will be enough food to eat and to spare. Art itself is self-sustainable. That's how it's made. Not in waste on art. It's in our own minds, we think that they are wasted. They are not wasted. They go back to source, where they come from. And they eventually transition into something else and come back to us. And then we can reuse in other ways, but then never get wasted. But it is us, the human beings. We are responsible for all of this. We are the ones that weaponize food. We are the ones that create war. We are the ones that, spread hate. So the earlier we can change ourselves, that's the beginning of achieving food security, of achieving sustainable development. It is with us. And then, of course, there are so many amazing technologies out there that you guys are using that are so good for you guys. And then we want you guys to give us access to these technologies. Let's build schools, institutions that will empower Africa to be able to create these things, to build these things by themselves. Let us not forget that it has been forecasted that Africa will be the strongest economy by 2050. So Africa will be the go-to place. What a beautiful feeling, for that moment when it eventually comes. So there's an opportunity. All of the wealthy people out there to invest in Africa. And it's also an opportunity for us Africans to change our model of operation. From aid to trade model to a trade to trade, where all of us can go on the table for business as equals, where we can use, our resources, our human resource, our mineral resource, our land, our water, and then of course our expertise to achieve development, with your support. So I call on everybody on this beautiful platform to come to Sierra Leone. Welcome to Sierra Leone, guys. It's a beautiful country. Do not believe everything that the media tells you about Africa and about Sierra Leone. It's not true. We are beautiful people. We are a beautiful country. We are good people. We are honest people.
Yeah, and I think, what you just said there in terms of one of the main challenges is exactly why DMTR exists, right? Because that's exactly how we see it as well, right? That equity, that equality in funding, in kind of provisions of support, expertise is so massively different from one region to another, and there's such a big gap that we need to close fast. Look, thank you so much, Emmanuel. It's been amazing to have you on. It's been so inspiring to listen to your story, and really, really interesting to hear your thoughts and your experiences as well. So thank you so much.